Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkman Homestead. My name is Krista and it is really a yucky rainy day out today, so I am going to be inside doing a lot of preserving that I have to get done. So I just finished making some basil tea there. I'll leave a link for you guys for the video on where I learned how to make that. It is just over at Roots and Refuge. So if you want to check it out, you can go over there. She does have a video showing how she makes it. We are in like overabundance of basil right now, so I just made up a lemon basil one. Lemon is my favorite flavoring, so I made that. I have some lemon basil growing, and then I just made a tulsi or a holy basil one. It's kind of the standard one to make. So I have those just brewing right now. So I thought what I would do is just get some of my cannelloni beans shelled. You can see right here I have a little plate of them. I'm just shelling them and letting the beans dry, and then I'll just put them in a glass gallon jar just to store them. And then eventually, probably in the winter, I'll just can them up. But right now they're fine to store as a dry bean. So I'm gonna get that done, and then as you've seen, I have a bucket full of zucchini. Like, it has gotten to the ridiculous point right now with the zucchini. So I think what we're gonna do today is we are going to attempt to can a zucchini relish. Because I'm not growing a lot of cucumbers this year, I'm not gonna make a relish with cucumber, so I thought we would make a zucchini relish. I've heard from countless people, and even some of you guys on here have suggested the zucchini relish is really, really good. So we will make that today. And then I need to get these red cayenne peppers. These are a cayenne slim pepper. I believe I got the seeds from Haas. So what I want to do with these guys is I want to get them strung up and then hanging so that they can dry out. I don't have the best of luck hanging stuff to have it dry because we are so humid here. Like today, for example, we are running at 95, well, mind you, it's raining, so that's why it's a little higher, but before the rain started, it was 91% humidity. Ugh. It's not fun. It is not fun, that humidity. But anyways, that causes, the humidity here causes those cayenne peppers to not really be able to dry right on the string. But we're gonna try it again and see if it works. If I notice them starting to mold or like get mold spots on them, then what we'll do is we'll just throw them in a dehydrator, and then I'll dehydrate them and then powder them up and make some cayenne pepper with them. That's kind of my intent to do with them anyways, is to make cayenne pepper. So we're gonna do that. And then the other fun thing that I did yesterday is when I went and picked up my milk from the Amish. Oh, this one wasn't ready yet. Darn it. It may actually be a yellow bean and not a cannelloni bean. I'm growing yellow beans, and this morning I just kind of went and harvested everything, and I think this one is potentially a yellow wax bean and not a cannelloni. Whoops. Oh well. So anyways, yesterday when I went and picked up my milk from the Amish, I actually picked up 3 dozen corn cobs. My corn kind of got a little bit destroyed. We had a really big thunderstorm a couple days ago, and it actually knocked down half of my corn. It literally, that storm came in right after I finished recording my garden tour, and it knocked down half of my corn cobs, and it knocked down my okra plants that are in my side garden. I actually have 2 different bunches of okra plants. I have okra plants by my corn, which I didn't actually end up showing you guys on the garden tour. I completely forgot about them. And then I have okra over in my side garden. It blew all the okra over in my side garden, and then it blew some corn down. But I'm kind of concerned, and I did mention this on my garden tour, I'm kind of concerned that my corn isn't earing up very well. So I just kind of was proactive and went and purchased some corn from the local Amish. I only picked up 3 dozen because I'm still going to have faith that I am going to get some corn for mine. But I think today we're going to make a corn relish. I remember when I was a kid, I loved corn relish, like really, really loved it. And I have never made it. So I thought today we would give it a try. The recipe for the corn relish is in this cookbook. Which page is it on here? Let's see. It is on page 226. So we're gonna give it a try. We have to get the corn blanched before we can make the relish. So there's a couple of different steps. And I actually see here that we need to have some celery. So we're gonna go out once the rain it looks like it's kind of slowing down a little bit. Once the rain slows down a bit, we'll go outside and harvest some celery so that we can use that in our corn relish. And then, let's see. The zucchini relish that we're going to be making today is from this cookbook. It is also a ball cookbook. It's just a different, it's kind of like a more condensed version. I think I actually picked this one up at Walmart. It was in the canning section. This one, we don't need celery, so that's fine. We need bell peppers for both of these. Yeah, we need green and red bell peppers for both of these recipes. I don't have any fresh right now. I have a lot of green peppers, but I'm letting them go because we actually prefer red peppers versus the green. I'm letting them kind of sit on the plant a little bit more until they actually start to turn red. So I have a whole bunch of peppers in the freezer that I preserved last year. So what I will do is we'll go and grab those bags out of the freezer and get them defrosting. And then what I'm going to do right now is actually get these guys laced up because I'm done with these beans. Oh, the other thing that I harvested today was this morning. This morning I actually brought in 5 gallons of food. It was crazy. I'm now at the point where we're bringing in gallon buckets of food in the morning. I love it. It is really my favorite time of the year. So in this basket here, I have some tomatillos and jalapeños. My hope with this basket is to make some tomatillo hot sauce. I can leave the recipe linked for you guys below. This recipe is actually from Becky over at Acre Homestead. This is her recipe, and we love this hot sauce. Now my tomatillos actually, they don't grow very big. Like I have some that are big, but I have a lot that are really little. This particular variety, for some reason, I grew these last year too, they did not get very big. So I'm wondering if it's just the particular variety that they're a really, really small tomatillo, whereas this is a different variety where they're a little bit bigger. Not huge, but a little bit bigger. And then I have some that are still kind of green, but they actually fell off the plant, so I want to get them used. They'll be fine to use up. And then we have lots of jalapeno peppers. So that is on the to-do list also. I don't know if we're going to get to it because I usually start these projects with a whole bunch of like anticipation that I'm going to get them all done in the day, and then realistically I don't have enough time because I still have to get supper started tonight, and you know, I still have to live my life. So I don't know if we're going to get it all done today or not. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting some pretty heavy duty thread here. I don't know what kind of thread this is. I just kind of collect thread from thrift stores when I see it because I do like to have kind of thread in my, I don't know if you want to say stockpile, but I like to have thread available. I am not a seamstress by any means. I can sew something if it needs like a really light mending, but I am not the seamstress. My sister actually kind of inherited that gene. My sister is a seamstress. She is very good at sewing, and she actually inherited my mom's sewing machine. I am more or less the baker of the family. I kind of got the baking genes. That's kind of my passion. So I am not the best at sewing, but this seems like it's pretty straightforward. It's just braiding. So let's hope I don't mess it up. I don't know if I'm the best teacher because this is the first time that I'm actually really attempting to braid it this way. I'm going to take my cayenne pepper and I'm going to stick the needle through it, thread it until it gets to the knot, and then I'm going to loop it around the jalapeno pepper a couple of times and then string it through here and then kind of make another knot with it. And we're gonna, oh, this one doesn't have a end to it, so we'll leave that one for later. Hopefully that's okay. And then every time I bring the cayenne peppers in, I will leave this end kind of open. I might even leave the needle on it, and then that way I can just kind of keep adding the cayennes to it. So the suggestions that I seen online were suggesting to hang it in a dark, cool place. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually hanging it in my little pantry closet there. It is the darkest spot in my kitchen that I have. And then we'll see, kind of keep an eye on it. It's not really cool. I don't really, oh, that just fell through. I don't really have the air conditioning going a lot in my house. I try to keep the windows open more, but when it does get very humid though, I do close them and turn the air on. Like for example, today I have that air conditioning cranking. Okay, how are we gonna do this? Because you see here, it doesn't have an end. I wonder if we could just like, maybe go through the top here. Hopefully that's fine. Oh, no, it doesn't work. Maybe we'll just have to eat this one in something. I don't know, maybe make a dish really hot. I'll just put it in my fridge for now. Okay, there we go. We got a little stirring started. So what I'll do is maybe leave this needle on the end. I have a lot of cayennes still out there that are semi-red. I'm just letting them get really red. The way that I harvest cayenne peppers is really kind of similar to the way that I harvest jalapeños. I just take the fruit and I just kind of lift it up a little bit, and if it just comes right off, like if it snaps off without any pressure, that to me indicates that the fruit is ready to be picked. Also, you'll see here with this jalapeno, I don't know if it's going to focus, but you see all those little lines there? That indicates also that it's ready to be picked because it's going to be a hot one. But with the cayennes, I just really just look for them to be good and red. Okay, so maybe what we'll do is we will just make a little loop on the end. I won't leave the string on, I'll just leave the string extra long. And I'm gonna have to drill a hole in my pantry shelf so I can hang this guy. There we go. I'm gonna go hang it up. Get my sewing basket put away. Okay, I think I have most of my stuff all prepped. It does take quite a while in order to get everything prepped. So we blanched the corn, because you have to blanch it for at least 5 minutes, and then I cut it off the cob, and then we just chopped up our red, green, and there is some like purple peppers in here. They're from last year's garden. And then we chopped up our celery that I just went out and picked, and an onion that I actually just went out and grabbed that was from the garden. So we have everything prepped now, and now it's just a matter of getting everything together into the pot. So I just added 4 cups of vinegar to that. You want to make sure when you are canning that you are canning with a 5% vinegar. There has been some stuff going on lately where apparently there's 4% vinegar on the canning, like on the grocery shelves. So you just want to make sure. It'll either say right on the front of the vinegar that it is 5%, or like here it says that it's 5%. So I guess that's a new thing going on. So you want to make sure when you are canning that you are canning with 5% acidity. It is the safe way to can and not the 4%. We're gonna get 1 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar, and then 2 tablespoons of salt. I'm just using a Redmond's real salt here. And we're gonna turn this on a medium-high heat and bring that to a boil so that that sugar gets dissolved. I blanched way too much corn. So what I'm gonna end up doing is actually just putting these on 2 cookie sheets lined with my silicone baking mats, and I'm just gonna throw them in the freezer and flash freeze them because these are just gonna be perfect for later on. I've already done the blanching process, so I'm just gonna get them frozen and put into some bags, and then that way I have some fresh corn in the freezer. We're multitasking here. I think I was fine with knowing that I was going to be boiling more than I needed because I always like to try to do a couple of tasks all at the same time. The other thing I have going right here in my water bath canner is I put all of my jars in there. I'm just getting them nice and warm because we are going to be putting the hot liquid, and so we need the hot jars because it's going to be going into the hot water. So this is now actually coming to a boil. So what we're going to do is add our other ingredients to it. We're gonna get our corn in here. This is 8 cups of corn. Oh my, it spilt all over my stove. We'll add our peppers, our red, green, and white peppers. They're just all sweet peppers. And that you need 4 cups of. And you need 1 cup of finely chopped onion. And then 1 3/4 cup of diced celery. Then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of dry mustard or mustard powder. 2 teaspoons of celery seed, and then 2 teaspoons of ground turmeric. It's to a boil now, so we have to get our thickening agent kind of put together. So in a measuring cup, I have 1/4 cup of water, and I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of clear gel to this. Clear gel is just pretty much a safe canning arrowroot or cornstarch. We're gonna get this stirred into the mixture. And then we're gonna bring it back up to another boil. So we have a boil, so we're gonna reduce the heat and then simmer for about 5 minutes. What we're doing is we're just wanting it to thicken up a bit. So we'll wait until, the recipe says about 5 minutes and it should start to thicken up. So I think the zucchini relish, I'm probably gonna have to make that potentially tomorrow. The only reason is because it's going to take at least 2 hours for those zucchinis. You have to put salt on them and pretty much drain the liquid out of the zucchinis because they're really full of moisture. So unfortunately, I don't think that we're gonna get to making the zucchini relish today, but it'll probably be another video for you guys because as you've seen that big huge bucket, I really need to get some of those zucchinis processed. I am going to probably end up giving a lot of those to the turkeys. It's just kind of a way that I supplement my feed. That's why I grow so many vegetables out there, is because during these months, I can definitely give my animals some of those produce, and it definitely reduces the cost that I have to feed them. So win-win there, and we have a lot of zucchinis. So I think that'll be another video for you guys, but this corn relish is starting to thicken up now, so we're gonna get this into some jars. So we're gonna leave 1/2 inch head space. Now the recipe also states that you can add some pickling crisp to this, 1/8 teaspoon per jar. I'm not gonna add it to mine. I kind of like a more mushy relish. I am really excited about this. This brings back childhood memories. I used to love corn relish when I was a kid. I think it was because it was a sweet relish and we weren't really allowed to have sugar. So this was kind of a sweet thing that I got to have. And this tastes so good on sausages. Get these debubbled. And I just have some white vinegar here, and I'm just gonna clean the rims of these jars because this is a really sticky relish. We wanna make sure that we get all of the rims clean, make sure there's nothing sticky left on them. This is also, like I always say, another really good way of checking the jar to make sure that there's no cracks in it. And then we'll get our lids on. Put our rings on, and we're gonna tighten them to fingertip tight. These jars are very hot. Okay, we're gonna get them in a water bath canner now. Okay, so we're gonna wait for this to come to a rolling boil. Once it gets to the rolling boil, we're gonna process these for 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, we'll come back. I'll take them off of the heat, take the lid off, and then I'm gonna set the timer for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, I'm gonna set them on a towel on my table, and we're just gonna let them chill out for about 12 to 24 hours. Then we'll take the rings off and get them all cleaned up and get them on our shelf. I'm gonna give them probably, I would say, at least a couple of weeks to kind of, you know, just sit for a bit before I taste it. I find that like whenever I'm doing like anything like relishes or pickles, it really does help just to kind of let them just have some time just to mellow out. And then I'll be able to start eating that with my hot dogs, sausage, on burgers. This is one of my favorite relishes, so I'm super happy to get this done. Okay, so we'll come back once these are all done. So it's actually been a couple of days since I actually filmed that corn relish video for you guys. I got so busy that day. Like I said, life kind of takes over sometimes, and I completely forgot to come back and tell you guys goodbye. I have also decided that I am not going to be making zucchini relish despite this massive amount of zucchini I have here. I'm not gonna make it, and the reason I'm not gonna make it is because I actually just checked my pantry shelves, and down here, we can't see it, but I have a whole bunch of cucumber relish still from last year. I am the only one that eats the relish in my house, so I don't want to make a whole bunch of zucchini relish while I still have a whole bunch of cucumber relish from last year. I kind of want to get eaten through that. We have the corn relish all put away, so that is on the shelf. I have since done another canning project. I made some tomatillo jalapeno hot sauce. I'm gonna put that on another video for you guys because I have some other preserving things. As you can see, these are all my tomatoes so far. I have to pick my tomatoes before they get completely ripe. I usually end up picking them when they're like at this stage, like starting to blush. And like I said in my garden tour, I only do that because I have such bad pest pressure here, and plus the birds will eat them if I let them get that red. But we are definitely in the preserving time. We picked our first watermelon today. We have our first cantaloupe. We also picked some Canada crookneck squash and a butternut squash. And then this huge gallon size pail here, this is all cherry tomatoes. We're in the busy time of the year. We're in the most favorite time of the year. I love having food just laying everywhere. It just makes me feel really, I guess, rich. It makes me feel food rich. That's not the right wording, but it just makes me feel good that I have all of this food and that I'm gonna get to preserve it and put it up and that we can enjoy it in the dead of winter. So I wanna thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a great day or night whenever you are watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys.